Merhaba. Öncelikle hepiniz tekrar hoş geldiniz. Etkinliğe katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz. Şimdi bizimle yurt dışından bir konuşmacı beraber olacak. Aslında kendisini Türkiye'ye getirmiştik. Bir hafta kadar da sanırım Türkiye'de kaldı, gezdi. Fakat maalesef sunumlarını ne Kütahya'da ne de Ankara'da fiziksel olarak yapma şansı olmadı. Onu bugün online olarak ağırlıyor olacağız. Leo is with us. Hi Leo. Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine.
For
So
having me.
I was just talking about how you liked in Turkey. You liked it in Turkey, right?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I was in Istanbul. It's such a nice place and
olarak yapma şansı olmadı. Onu bugün online olarak ağırlıyor olacağız. Leo is with us. Hi Leo. Can you hear me? You should probably close the live feed.
okay, I think now.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, thank you. So you let me know when I can start.
You're about to start. We're live right now. Şimdi Leo'nun kadınları Google Asistan ve yapay zeka yoluyla daha nasıl ön plana çıkarabiliriz başlıklı sunumunu izleyeceğiz. İyi eğlenceler, iyi seyirler.
Okay, so I can start now.
Yes, you can start.
Okay, thank you. So thank you all for having me. I really enjoy my time in Turkey. Hopefully next time we can see each other in person, but this time it's a great opportunity to have these online sessions and to get to all Turkey. So let's start. Today we're going to have the session Empowering More Women through Google Assistant and Artificial Intelligence. And it's such a great opportunity for us to get involved about this new trend and this game changer that is the voice technology. So let's start. Today the agenda is going to be first we're going to have an introduction of the workshop of the Google Assistant. We built a demonstration for you. We have a GitHub repo. We're going to do many things so we can do it fast. Okay, so we're going to see more about natural language processing, a really potent tool that Google has, and we're going to build an action for the women community. Okay, so before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Leandro Camacho. Everybody calls me Leo. You can find me in these social networks. I write a lot in the Medium. I have a blog post where I write for the Google Developer Expert Medium. You can find me also in social networks. And I'm a G Suite GDE. So any of these technologies that you may be interested, or if you have any other question at the end of this session, you can contact me here, or you can also ping the leads of Women Tech Maker and GDG at Ankara. Okay, so first I would like to share with you a really important difference that we may have to understand before we can get started with this technology, and it's the difference between the Google Assistant and the actions on Google. So the Google Assistant is the virtual agent that enables you have conversations and get things done through devices. So this is the agent, and the actions on Google is the developer platform, the libraries that you can use to create experiences for your users. So this is really important to understand because with the Google Assistant is the agent that at the end is going to get to the final user, but through the actions on Google is the platform that you can build and create the voice interface and the interactions through your users. So it's a concept that I would like you to understand before we can get started. So these are two concepts that are really important and they're really potent to understand. Okay. And okay, so why the Google Assistant and why it's so important now to start building for this platform? One of the main reasons is because the Google Assistant already reached 1 billion devices across the globe. So these devices can be from your smartphone, from the Google Home, the smart speaker that you can have in your house, but also you can build for a car, for a smartwatch, for a smart TV. So many multiple intelligent devices that are coming with this Google Assistant. So this is going to be like a huge game changer, because you can now just don't create like a new app or a new way to connect with your users, but you can start creating interactions through devices, through intelligent houses, for example. So we're gonna see that in the coming years, we're gonna keep having more and more interactions through devices such as your car. You're gonna talk with your car, with your house, with your fridge, with many other devices that we usually don't have interaction at this moment, but we're gonna see like in the coming years that we're going to have more and more interactions through these devices. So it's really important that from now we can start thinking about these new interactions and these new ways we can reach users in their daily lives. Okay, so it's really important to see these 1 billion devices that the Google Assistant has reached now. Also, this Google Assistant has a really huge growing audience. So now you can build actions for more than 30 languages across more than 80 different countries. So one of the reasons that we're having this workshop is because one of the languages that the Google Assistant is now available for is the Turkish language. So it's a really good opportunity for all of you that are watching me today, that you can start with your Turkish in some actions. And today we're going to focus in an English version because my Turkish is not that good. But at the end of the session, you can translate all these interactions that we're going to see today and build it for your Turkish language. So let's start. Okay. For this session, we build a Medium post. So we're going to have here the step-by-step tutorial. So if at any time some of you are missing what I'm saying, or you don't get, or you don't understand what I'm saying in a certain point of the workshop, you can also go and take a look about the blog post that we have made for the GDE Medium, and you can follow step by step what we have done. Okay, so before we start with the workshop, I think that a really important tool that we all need to know is Dialogflow. So with Dialogflow is a natural language understanding tool. It's from Google, and it's also like the heart of the Google Assistant. Here is where we are going to train our models on the natural language understanding of our actions. And this is going to help us to get to know and understand what users are trying to say, or are trying to do in our actions. So two concepts that are really important for these interactions is the first of all is the intent. So the intent is the ways that the users are trying to communicate with us. So all the phrases that the users are gonna put in our voice interface or in our text interface are gonna be processed through the intent matching. So we're gonna see more about these details and about how the training phrases works. But it's an important concept that we all need to understand. So it's gonna be the intent. And another important concept that we need to know about the tool is the entities. So through the entities, we're gonna make the match of the specific keywords or specific actions that we're gonna handle, or that we're gonna allow our users. So this is gonna help us to make the match through some natural understanding of what the users are trying to say or to do. Okay, so for example, if the users say, I want to find an AI startup meetup, here, as you can see, highlighted two keywords. We can train our models that AI startups, it's an entity, and meetup, it's another entity. So, for example, we can let them, our voice interface, make a decision tree based on these text extractions, so we can identify what users are trying to do or what are they trying to say. For example, if they're trying to look for a meetup, he can take a decision completely different if the user want to find a mentor, for example, or if the user want to find a study group. Or here, for example, he's looking for AI startups, but in this second phrase, he's looking for data science. So we can extract from the conversations what the users are trying to do, and help the agent to get the better, or give you the better response based on what you are trying to do. Okay, so for this session, now we're gonna maybe understand a little bit more. Previously, we have seen just two important concepts, but here I already post in the YouTube live the link to my slides, and also the link for this post. So if you can come here, you can also find it in the Google Developer Expert Medium, and we can come here. So we're gonna click it. Okay, so here, okay, we're gonna take a look about so this is the Google Developer Expert Medium post that we have made. Also, if you come here, you can Google it. If you can come here in the outside, you're gonna see that you can find it here in the latest post. So you can come here and click it in Empowering Women through Google Assistant and Artificial Intelligence in the International Women's Day Ankara. So here we make the step-by-step of how you can create actions for the Google Assistant, and the step-by-step of our project. Okay, so in this session, we're going to share the resources about speech recognition, text classification, voice interfaces for the Turkish language, and how you can interact with the virtual agent through voice command and text interaction in a really natural conversation way. So this is one of the most important things about these new technologies, is that you're going to allow your users to communicate with you and to get things done through a really natural way, that it's a voice conversation. So and also important things we need to know is that this powerful tool that is Dialogflow and Google Assistant allow us also to integrate our actions through messaging platforms, G Suite products, and many other APIs, external APIs. So we're gonna see more about this. So let's start, okay? The first step we're gonna do today is that we build a GitHub repo so you can download it. So you can come here in the link, and it's gonna redirect you to the GitHub repo that we have made. Here we also share with you the step-by-step, so at any time you can come back and take a look and see which was the step and all of this. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to download the project that we have made. So we're gonna come here, we're gonna download the zip file, and once you have it here, well, we can move it to the desktop. Okay, so now we have it in our desktop. And the second step will be to come to Dialogflow. So for all of you that are just getting started, you're gonna put dialogflow.com. So as you can see, is the natural language understanding tool that is gonna allow us understand our users and train our natural language processing models. So here you go to the console to get started. And as you're gonna find here, in my case, okay, so the first step for all of you that are getting started is to create your first agent. So we're gonna put here, so in my case, I already have the project. But for all of you that are just getting started, you're gonna create the project here. You're gonna put the name of your project. So in my case, we can put it Izmir Tech Guide. You cannot have spaces here. So as you can see here, you cannot have spaces. You need to have the complete name. Another important thing is that for the workshop that we're having today, we're gonna have it for the English language, but you can also see here that we can have the Turkish language. So in a certain point, you want to have or you want to add the Turkish language. It's gonna be here, and you just click here to create a new project. In my case, I already have it, so I'm gonna come back to the project, and as you can see, it's gonna create you this new agent, and it's going to come with two intents. So as we mentioned previously, the intents are the phrases or the ways that the users are gonna communicate with our interface, and the entities is the text classification that we can make for helping the model understand what users are trying to do or are trying to say to our agent. Okay, so the default welcome is all the ways that the users can start a conversation with our agent. And the default fallback, it's also a really important concept that we need to have, because every time the user doesn't understand what you're trying to do or what the user are trying to say, is gonna hit this default fallback intent. So for me, it's really important because as you can see here, for example, in the default welcome, we can change this with this default text response. So for example, we can say, welcome to Izmir, the Tech Turkey Guide. I can help you find in meetups, study groups, and mentors which one you are interested in. So first, before we keep on going on the workshop, we build this action to help women in the Turkish country to find more tech meetups, study groups, and mentors related to technology or related to business, even related to culinary. So we train this agent to understand this action or these things that they can do in our voice assistant. So this is the default welcome. And also another important concept will be the fallback. So every time the user doesn't understand or the agent doesn't understand what to do, is gonna hit this default fallback. So as you can see, this one comes with phrases like, for example, I didn't get it. Can you say that? Can you say that again? Or sorry, I didn't understand. I highly recommend you to have a more natural conversation and to make the users have a better experience with your voice interface, to erase all the default fallbacks that comes with the with the with the agent, because it will be more natural to say, for example, I didn't understand, remember that I was trained in study groups, finding meetups for mentors. So in this way, we are saying the user, okay, we didn't understand what you're trying to say or what you're trying to do, but remember that I was trained in A, B, and C. Okay, so this will help us to keep the conversation with our users, and not making a really robotic conversation. So we're trying to avoid the robotic conversations, and we're trying to make it more natural to our users to keep on the conversations. So you can save this one and you can train the model in this phrase. Okay, so these are the two concepts that every time you create a new agent, a new project, the default intents that are coming with is the welcome intent and the fallback intent. So we can keep on going. Okay, so now we're going to come to the settings of our project. So as you can see here, you can add languages. For example, if you want to add the Turkish language, so you can add it here. So now you have a multilingual agent that understand English and also Turkish. So if you can come here to the Turkish, you can add all the training phrases for the Turkish language. And in this moment, as is marked in blue, we're gonna work in the English version of our agent. Okay, so the next step we're gonna do is to import the project that we just downloaded from the GitHub repo. So we're gonna restart the project. So we can come here, select the file. So we all of us are gonna have this zip file, is mere the tech guide. So we're gonna upload it and we're gonna put restart. Okay. So once we create this, you're gonna see that the agent will import successfully the intents that we have created for you. And once we are done, the agent is gonna come here, and you can see in the intents that he already added not just the default welcome and the fallback, but also he added the intents meetup, mentors, and study groups. So for example, if we come here in the meetup intents, we're gonna see that we already built the decision tree for the meetups on culinary, meetups in business, meetups in tech, meetups about hackathons, or meetups about workouts. Okay, so if we come inside the meetup intent, we're gonna find phrases, for example, like, hey Google, when is going to be the next hackathon? Or hey Google, ask Ismir for the next tech meetup suggestion. Or I'm interested on finding meetups, finding startup meetups. We can also add new training phrases. We can actually add more than 2,000 training phrases per intent. Before we keep on going, I would like to show to you the dialog flow quotes limits, so we can see that it's a really robust tool that we can use and we can train. So as we can see here, per intent, well, we can have up to 2,000 intents in our agents, and we can also have per intent, we can have about 2,000 training phrases. So in this example, we just have 5 training phrases. We highly recommend you to add at least 20 or 50 training phrases. So it's a really robust model that can understand you really well. So for example, we can add more training phrases. I would like to know when is going to be the next meetup in Ankara, for example. As you can see, the model already understands the meetup is a topic that we're training and that it's relevant for us. And for example, that Ankara is a city, and we can keep adding more training phrases. Please let me know when or where I can find a study group about AI. Okay. So here, as you can see, also we already trained the model that study groups, mentors, or meetups are social guide things that we can help the user with, and also that AI technology and all the synonyms are topics that the user can be interested in. Okay, so we can save these training phrases, and as you can see here, the agent is going to start its training, and once it's trained, it will say agent training complete, and you can either write here in the console your phrase, or as we're gonna see later, we can also make a test simulation of our agent through the Google Assistant. Okay, so these are the training phrases. The training phrases are the ways that the user can express or try to connect with our agent. And here we're gonna see the actions and parameters that in these intents are catch. So for example, we're gonna catch parameters such as social guide, such as topics, or a city. Okay, we can also see that here we already add a default response. This is a text response. Later in other workshops, we can see how we can implement the fulfillment, that you can enable a webhook to connect with your database, or dynamic responses that you want to help the user with. So for this workshop of today, we're just going to add.
Hey, Leo.
Yes.
Your time is about to be up, so can you wrap it up a little?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thanks, Al.
So, okay, great. So we're gonna have these default responses for the agent. So for example, we can see, great, I can help you finding meetups about technology, business, culinary. Pick your favorite one. Okay, so in this case, we already trained the agent that for example, we can be interested in tech meetups. So here we already add a lot of training phrases related to technology meetups, and we add a text response at the end. So we can come here also and see at the entities that we already trained the agent, that for example, meetups are synonyms of venues, hangouts. Also, we already add study groups that are related or synonyms about research, discussions, and mentors. You can also add synonyms, for example, mentorings, tutors, You can add another synonym, for example, a teacher, a professor, and many other synonyms that you want to add over here to understand better what users are trying to do or trying to say. Also, you can add new topics, or you can add synonyms to technology, business, culinary, hackathons, and many other of these ones. So we can help the model to better understand what the users are trying to do. Okay, so now we're coming to the integrations. So as you can see here, the Dialogflow comes with more than 15 integrations. One of the most important ones for us for these workshops is going to be the Google Assistant integration. So we're going to come here and we can test our project. So let's do it. Okay, so we're going to come to the simulator of Dialogflow and of the Google Assistant on the actions on Google. And as you can see, it already upload our project, so we can test the version of our app. Okay, so start testing. Okay, we're gonna see here time. Okay, now it's uploading the project to make the test version of our app. So as you can see here, it already uploaded our agent and our training phrases. So let's start.
Let's get the test version of Izmir Tech Guide in Turkey. Welcome to Izmir, the Tech Turkey Guide. I can help you finding meetups, study groups, and mentors. Which one are you interested in?
So as you can see here, it's the first interaction that the agent will start with is the welcome intent. So he's welcoming us and telling more about like what we can do. So for example, we can say that we're interested in finding meetups.
Great, I can help you finding meetups about technology, business, or culinary. Pick your favorite.
So the agent already went to the meetups intent. So remember that we have the decision tree between technology, business, culinary. So for example, we're interested in finding a technology meetup. Technology.
I have found the following technology meetups: GDG Ankara Actions on Google Workshop at the Ankara University and the Cloud Next Extended at Istanbul. Are you interested on going?
So this was a really small example of a way that you can create a voice interface, so you can allow your users to get started with your agent and with the conversation through your action. So you can keep on training and adding more intents, adding more entities, so you can help your users to have a really powerful conversation. And as you can see here, later you can come to the overview and keep on adding, for example, more actions that the agent can do. And also to close this workshop, it will be really important you to come to the deploy version. So as you can see here, you need to publish your action and to be available for everybody in the Google Assistant. You need to add a description, a sample invocation, an image of your logo, of your action, also your contact details. A really important thing that you also need to add is your privacy policies and the terms and conditions of your action. Also the location that you're trying to target. So for example, if you just want to target the Turkey, you can just unmark all the countries, and then just select that you are interested in publishing for the Turkey country. Also, you need to select which interfaces are you interested in. So for example, if you're going to publish for a mobile device, or for an Android TV, or for a car, for a wearable, for a speaker, which of these interfaces are you and are interested in? The company details is optional, so you can add the contacts. Well, you need to add your contact as a developer, but the company details, it's an optional if you wanna make. And the brand verification, it's also optional. It will help you to connect with your Android applications or many other applications that you can have. And finally, once you have everything done, you're gonna see that you can create or send your action for production. Also, they highly suggest you, before you get or you send your action to publish or to production, you can also have a beta testing or an alpha testing of your action. So you can allow some of your friends or some of your colleagues that you're working with to test your action in their devices, in their Google Home or smartwatch, or many of these interfaces that we can build for. Okay, so yeah, we're almost done with our workshop for today, and we're gonna come back. So we already see the GitHub repo. We already see the intents, the decision tree that it makes, the agent. We already take a look about the entities, the fulfillment. Well, we don't get into it that much today, but maybe in other workshops we can take a look about the relevance of this fulfillment, because here we can add dynamic responses. We can connect a webhook. We can connect through external APIs. So it really helps us a lot. For example, if you want to make your agent book a calendar appointment, so we can connect through the fulfillment, the calendar API, for example, the Google Calendar API here. Sorry. So we can make it through the webhook and through the fulfillment. We already see the integration also about the agents. So I think we already take a look about how it works. So once you start the conversation, the conversation goes through the actions on Google Library. And if you have, for example, connected through a database to dynamic responses such as Firebase or any other database, external database, you can go and reach the conversation with your user and the responses through the fulfillment and the webhook. And yeah, to close this session, I will also highly recommend you to take a picture and to really take a look about all these links that we're going to share with you, because here you can see is the documentation for the SDKs, for the APIs of actions on Google. So you can come here and take a look about the samples that they have, also about the developer programs of actions on Google. And the last thing that I will also love to share with you is these code labs. So if you come here in code labs developers, codelabs.developers.google.com, you can see here that you can find that as a category assistant. So here you can find step-by-step tutorials on how you can keep on learning, or you can keep advancing your skills of building actions for the Google Assistant. So for example, if you're just getting started, I highly recommend you to start with this Code Lab level 1. So as you can see here, you're gonna have a step-by-step tutorial about a workshop, an action that you can build for the Google Assistant. And at the end, you are going to learn more about this tool, this powerful tool. So I highly recommend you to take a look about all these links and all these resources, for example, sample codes of GitHub that you can also find for the Google Assistant action that the Googlers had built for. And to close this session, I will highly would like to encourage you to create your first action. Also, through the code labs, you're going to be able to publish your first action and to create your first action for the Google Assistant. So once you create and publish your first action, you're gonna be part of the Actions on Google Community Program. And depending on the milestone that you have and that your action have, you're gonna reach different rewards. So it could be from cool swag or t-shirts from the Google Assistant programs to special invitation to events or cloud credit in the Google Cloud Platform. So first, I think it's a really new way you can reach users. It's a new era of voice conversations and voice interfaces. So I think it's like, I highly recommend you to get started with all these new technologies. Is going to allow you to reach users in a more natural way and a way that it will be really interesting for them, and you can reach them for their daily lives. And thank you all for having me. We can keep connect through the social media platforms, and thank you everybody for having me here.
Thank you, Leo. I hope everyone enjoyed that presentation, and we are glad that we had you.
Okay, thank you, Jaksu, and hope to see you in other sessions.
See ya.
Keep enjoying in the International Women's Day, Ankara. Bye-bye.
Bye.